Quiet! Once the teachers found out I had a loud voice, they started taking advantage of it to calm us down at the beginning of class. So, welcome, faculty, staff, administration, family, friends, and of course, classmates. As we gather here today, I would like to thank all those who have made our time here at Sacred Heart in the nursing program a challenge, not only a challenging academically, demanding physically, joyfully rewarding, and many times one that was part of a frightening nightmare. Before I came to nursing school, I think I probably had 3 white hairs. Now I think I have more than I can count. Maybe our family physician should have told my parents about genetic counseling, you know. Or maybe Sacred Heart should pay for my life supply of hair dye. I think I like the second one better. Someone once asked me, how do you do on nursing tests? Well, don't worry, this wasn't an interview or anything, but I said, well, I don't get A's on the test, but I make a great effort to get a C. And so then he said, you must be really strong clinical then. And I said, well, I need to practice a skill many, many times before I feel totally confident in what I'm doing. So then I realized that naturally, no, I don't make a good nurse. So I think for a while I thought, well, if I'm not naturally good at it, that this isn't the path for me. I would constantly come back from clinical saying, I don't know if I can do this. And my roommates, usually Aaron Brown, Allie, you guys know them, would say, what happened? And I would answer, I don't know. Particularly every semester, I would receive an email for academic probation, along with many others in the Purple Book Club. That's what we called ourselves because we needed extra help. And we had to purchase a book that gave us testing tips. Some of us needed a little bit more extra help. And I would pray to God, oh, God, am I supposed to do this? If I am, let me pass. This is the same time I decided I had to make some sacrifices. I decided I had to give up swim team, as much as I loved it, waking up at 4:30 a.m. to swim, and then I give again at 4:30 p.m., only made me snooze during class, put my head down on the table, and I sat in the front row next to Liz Strayring, and inevitably every class I was woken up by Liz tapping me on my arm, awakening me from my 10-minute slumber. Not only did I stop swimming, but the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, Student Senator, Habitat for Humanity, Life Club, other clubs, going on weekends, and I realized I needed to just focus on nursing. I needed to do more than just pass. I needed to know this material for my career, for my life. I couldn't just study for a test. Even as I resigned from the activities, my journey continued to be an uphill struggle. I don't know if I've ever struggled way in my life. I'm not saying academics came easy for me. I still had to study hard, but I usually got it. And I hardly ever needed to go for extra help. But nursing took me a little bit longer to get it. And I didn't necessarily like asking for help, because I thought the teacher would get mad if I didn't know the right answers. This is when I had to take down my wall of pride and ask, because I could not do it on my own. Nursing is a profession that encourages us to seek guidance when we need it, and to work together as a team. In our junior year, through the stress of the double battle of maternity and pediatrics, we learned this. And we grew together as one unit. As Conrad. What one felt, the whole felt. What one needed, the other had. Study guides were mass emails, usually by Emily Ism. 25 pages, and tools for remembering material were often shared. Little tips and mnemonics. My success was not just my success, but hers and his and our success. And here's the human journey lesson for you, which we are a secret heart. That as human beings, we can only accomplish so much after the 150% effort is given. The rest we can leave up to fate. And that's just what I did. To be honest, standing up here, I don't know how I did it. And then, I remember all those who were rooting for me. My roommates were the ones that kept me on my toes, driving me everywhere, making sure that I was not oversleeping, getting my homework. My mom and dad were constantly praying for me to pass, along with sharing with the whole church and the whole school. And my professors were the ones who put up with all my crazy questions and agreed to meet with me every week. Every person in our class has given me the strength at some point or another, whether it was just laughing at a joke or explaining something in easier terms that I could understand, or hugging me after a bad day. I can only remember my pediatrics practical. Ashley and Francis gave me a huge hug after, and everyone else was ready to go in, was like, oh no. They just calmed down, and that's it. So I guess it must have been in God's plan for me to become a nurse and graduate with all of you, because I couldn't have done it without you. I wrote a little poem.
We love you, Katie.
You know you're a Sacred Heart student nurse when? On your first clinical, it takes 20 minutes to go inside the patient's room and introduce yourself. Then you learn about infectious disease and you wake up with a sore throat the next day. And think you have scarlet fever. When, for the first time, you try to get an air bubble out of a saline flush, and the water shoots up in the patient's ceiling, wrong patient. When you squirt the peg tube concoction all over Professor Watson. When you replace come and lean with nursing terms, Nardo, carnate, mar, plancella, and it was. I refrain, I must have made that up. When you put up pictures of disease feet on the big PowerPoint screen with last study was in the library just to see what other non-nursing students, non-nursing students will react. When talking about bowel movements at the dinner table doesn't phase you. When we drank sparkling cider in the library study rooms. When American Data Bank says you were clear for clinical, and then a week later, the day before you're supposed